Welcome to another edition of the Spyder's Web live from the Connecticut School Broadcasting Studios. I'm Spyder. Thank you very much for tuning in to the Spyder's Web on YouTube and Facebook. And we have a lot of things to talk about. It's my favorite time of the year. It's Super Bowl time. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, we have a Super Bowl that's going to be played on Sunday between the Baltimore Ravens and the San Francisco 49ers. I'm going to break down some of the storylines that we're going to talk about here to watch for in this game. Also going to break down some of the matchups for each team and give you my final prediction. I think you guys are going to enjoy this. Again, welcome to another edition of the Spyder's Web live from CSB Studios. And again, I'd like to thank my friends at CSB for giving me the opportunity to do this show in a professional setting. This is a lot better than the Bucks room. Listen, guys, I love the Bucks room, but I love this studio. It's great. And unfortunately, we were going to have some highlights, but it didn't work out at this point. So what we're going to do is the next show we'll have those highlights, but it's going to get better and better, of course. Now, the storylines in this game is real simple. It's not Beyonce singing at halftime, which, by the way, is very entertaining, and I'm looking forward to it, okay? Very attractive woman. Or Alicia Keys doing that national anthem. No. And it's not even the commercials. It's the storylines of both of these teams, and they're very intriguing. Now, the first storyline to pay attention to is John Harbaugh versus Jim Harbaugh. Both brothers, okay, but it's more than that. They're both polar opposites. One is a little bit more laid back, and the other is very fiery. In some of these cases, he really doesn't like the refs' calls, and I have to appreciate that. One has more passion than the other. Yet, both of these coaches made tough decisions to impact their teams. The Ravens, with John, made a decision to change his offensive coordinator and Cam Cameron and go with Jim Caldwell, which has really made his offense that much better. They're more of a balanced attack with Ray Rice and Bernard Pierce, and Joe Flacco is taken off. Who would have thought after the Ravens lost 4 out of 5 before the season ended that they would actually be in the Super Bowl? And on the other hand, Jim Harbaugh making the decision after his quarterback Alex Smith went 18 for 19 versus the Arizona Cardinals to have the guts to make a quarterback change and go with Colin Kaepernick. Well, that's absolutely made this game what it is because Colin Kaepernick is an X factor. He can do it all. He can throw the ball. He can run with the ball. He can make defensive coordinators lose sleep at night. And this is why one of the reasons I thought the 49ers were a Super Bowl favorite because of this change. So that's something to pay attention to first and foremost. Now, the other thing is, both of these teams were close last year in making the Super Bowl. If Lee Evans for the Ravens catches that touchdown in New England, then the Ravens are in the Super Bowl. If Billy Cundiff doesn't miss an easy field goal, then the Ravens are in the Super Bowl. So really, the Ravens have something to prove in this game. On the other hand, the San Francisco 49ers, if Kyle Williams doesn't fumble the ball a couple times on special teams, then the 49ers have a chance to make a Super Bowl. So who's going to win this game? It's intriguing because both of these teams are kind of built the same way, okay? Nice quarterbacks, good quarterbacks. They can throw the ball down the field, but they also have nice offensive lines that are physical. They like to run the ball. They have the most balance. And not only that, defensively, they are very, very physical. So both of these teams are even. It could be a close game. Very entertaining. Now, the other point is, one of the best players, one of the best defensive players of our generation, Ray Lewis, is retiring after this game, whether he wins or loses. The story about Ray Lewis is he comes back the first playoff game with the Indianapolis Colts and basically reinvigorates that defense. Listen, in all the years that I've watched the Baltimore Ravens, and I've watched a lot of years of the Ravens because I respect defense, I appreciate it. This defense, to me, didn't have as much talent. But as soon as Ray Lewis came back into the fold, I really think this defense started playing unbelievably well. And that's why, one of the reasons why they're going to be in the Super Bowl on Sunday. So Ray Lewis, say whatever you want to about the deer antler spray allegations. Right now, those are allegations. But he is one of the best defensive players of all time. And whether he wins or loses, it's going to be his last game. Now, with that being said, Baltimore is led by Joe Flacco. And who would have thought that Joe Flacco would have outplayed Andrew Luck, Peyton Manning, and Tom Brady? In fact, in his playoff career, 15 touchdowns and 2 interceptions. And look at this, guys. He has 8 touchdowns this postseason with no interceptions. If he throws another touchdown without an interception, he's going to join the likes of Joe Montana, Steve Young, Drew Brees, Troy Aikman, and Phil Simms. And by the way, all those quarterbacks won Super Bowl MVP. So right now, Joe Flacco is playing at an elite level. Okay, and this team doesn't just have Joe Flacco as their quarterback. He can make all the throws. But again, they have Ray Rice. They have Bernard Pierce, who combined for 100 yards last week. They have a commitment to be balanced, and that is special. Now, they're also, with their defense, that has been their MO with Ray Lewis. But it's not just Ray Lewis on this team anymore. It's Terrell Suggs. It's guys that you don't hear about. It's Kruger at the defensive end position. It's Corey Graham. When they lost Ladarius Webb, a lot of people thought that they were going to take a step back, but they have not. So it's a very impressive showing by the Baltimore Ravens, a very impressive team. Now, on the other hand, the San Francisco 49ers are led by the stud quarterback Colin Kaepernick. This guy can do it all again. He runs the pistol offense, which basically is this. He's out of a shotgun, okay? He's reading the defensive end. If the defensive end stays in, then he will hand it off. He has the option to hand it off to Frank Gore. If the defensive end somehow gets sucked inside, well, guess what? It's party time. Colin Kaepernick is off to the races, and he did a lot of this versus the Green Bay Packers. Look at that game, 181 yards of rushing,